Hello, welcome back to another video. I'm Chris. There's a brand new Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male on board the Le Male ship. It's called Le Male on board. So today I'm going to unbox and share my first impressions. So I've got my knife, I've got my can opener. Stay tuned to find out what I think of it. Some of you may know that I love Le Male. I think it's a great fragrance. I think a lot of my love towards it has to do with the fact that I wore it when I was younger and it was my signature scent, probably the scent that I've worn as a signature scent for the longest period of time. I must have been wearing this for 10 years, if not more. So I love the original Le Male. Now with the flankers, they've been a bit hit and miss for me. Let's go through them quickly. So I really love Male Eau Fraiche, whether you get Superman, Popeye, or the weird sailor dude, I can never remember his name. This is a good fragrance. This is a great fragrance. Mint, neroli, it's fresh, it's smooth, it's sweet, works really well in the heat. Yeah, not the biggest performing fragrance, but in the heat, it works perfectly for me. Really enjoy that one. Also in the navy is pretty good. So this is Jean Paul Gaultier's take on sort of marine, fresh, aquatic, mass appealing fragrance. It is all those things. Yeah, it's a little bit generic, but I think it's done really well. I enjoy it. In the navy, I think is a pretty decent fragrance. And of course, Le Male Le Parfum, I really enjoyed this. This has the connection to the original Le Male, but modernizes it and darkens it and just makes it a bit thicker and richer. And I think a bit more wearable for people who perhaps aren't the age that they were when they were first wearing Le Male. Anyway, unfortunately, Le Male Aviator, this was a very forgettable release for me. I don't really know what the intention was. It just seemed pretty indistinct. I didn't hate it. It's not an awful smell, but it's not doing anything interesting. It's not doing anything different. It didn't really smell like Le Male. Yeah, just a real disappointment for me, this one. Le Male on board. This is a blue bottle. This is a gorgeous azure blue frosted bottle. I'm going to unbox this for you in a second. So this is another sort of summery, fresh, oceanic type of fragrance. I'm hoping that Christophe Renaud, who's done this one, has done a good job. A couple of his that I really enjoy, a 1 million Parfum. I thought that was a really nice take on the 1 million formula, and Issa Miyake Noir Ambre, two really good distinctive fragrances. Many said that Noir Ambre was sort of pushing the boundaries between designer and niche. So I'm hoping that Christophe has done a good job with Le Male on board. So let's get into it. I'm going to wear this as my scent of the day today, and let's just get this thing unboxed. Okay, there we go. So there we have the packaging, the outer packaging. We've got the cellophane on here as usual. So let's strip that off. You know, regardless of what these Le Male fragrances smell like, always love the cans, always love them. I think they look great. I even thought the Aviator one looked great. I thought the Aviator's tin was way better than the fragrance. So at least they're getting the packaging right. So this is another sort of oceanic styled scent. So this might take a while. I'm not so good with a can opener, so just bear with me, and I'll get this can open. We'll just cut to when I've opened it. Oh, it's not. Oh God, this is going to be tough. All right. Okay, cut. And there we go. We're in. Can opener worked a treat. And here's the bottle. Let me show you a lovely close-up of that. It's not actually a frosted bottle. I thought from the pictures it was frosted, but it's not. It's just a blue clear glass with the white stripes on. Obviously, it's what we've come to expect from the Le Male bottle, so it's just a different take on that. The other blue one was in the navy, and obviously it's a lighter blue than that one, and in the navy it is a frosted glass, but this one is just a clear glass. So with this being a mainstream, it's obviously going to be mainstream because it's Le Male fragrance from Jean Paul Gaultier. It's going to be mass appealing. I just hope that they manage to have those things without it being boring like Aviator was unforgettable. So the notes in this one, we've got bergamot in the top, we've got geranium and tonka bean in the mid, and amber in the base. So let's see what this one is going to do. I'm going to just get this sprayed on me. we'll give it a good few sprays, because I feel like this might be quite a light fragrance, and we'll see how we go. Okay, I think this smells good. It is very light. It does sort of smell like a blue fragrance. It's very clean, it's fresh. It's got a sweetness to it, so it's sweet, it smells smooth, it smells quite well-rounded. And there's some warmth in there as well. There's some warmth probably coming from whatever's in the base, you know, a bit of wood, the amber. At this stage, I'm not really reminded that much of the original Le Male, if at all. With Le Male Le Parfum, there was that connection to the lavender and the mint, but I don't really get the connection to the original Le Male with this one. By the way, this apparently is a limited edition for 2021, so I don't know how long this one will be around for, whether it'll be in the lineup for years or whether it's just going to be a short period of time. So yeah, it's warming, it's quite sweet. This doesn't go the route that In the Navy does, and it doesn't have that very loud, mass appealing sort of profile we recognise from a lot of designer fragrances that are supposed to be oceanic and mass appealing. It's not as screechy as that. I think that's how I would describe it. It's that very recognisable, mass appealing sort of smell. I don't think it really goes that way. This is smooth and it's fairly refined actually. It doesn't smell synthetic or screechy. I don't know how much this is going to project. Initially, I feel like it's quite a light fragrance. I mean, that ties in with, you know, the type of fragrance you might want to wear in the heat. But I don't think this is going to be a massively projecting fragrance. In the Navy projects really well, and Eau Fraiche projects fairly well for the first hour or two. But I don't know if this is projecting quite as much as those. So it smells quite light to me. As I'm smelling it on my skin, as it's drying down a little bit and as my skin's warming it up, there is a little bit of the original Le Male coming out. Just a tiny little hint in the background, like Eau Fraiche has a tiny little hint in the background of the original Le Male. This one is maybe doing a similar thing. Okay, so initial first impressions, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I think it's a pleasant fragrance. It doesn't smell too chemically or screechy or too generic, actually. I certainly don't think it smells forgettable like Aviator did to me. So I'm going to go away for 2-3 hours. I'm just going to wear this for the rest of the day while I'm, you know, doing what I'm doing a bit of editing, whatever. And then I'm going to turn the camera back on in a couple of hours and just update you on how this has changed, if it does change into the dry down, and you know, give you an initial impression of the sort of performance I'm getting from this. So I will be back very shortly. Okay, I am back. This is 3 hours later, so I've just been wearing this around the house and just seeing how it dries down, and I'm going to report back my findings, and hopefully it can help you decide whether this is something that you want to pick up straight away or maybe wait till it's a little bit cheaper when a little bit of time has passed. So, as you saw, I quite enjoyed the opening of this. It was sweet, it was fresh, youthful, playful. I think that it would be nice and refreshing on a warm summer's day. As it started to dry down, a bit of sort of green herbal came out, reminded me a little bit of like a violet leaf accord, which reminded me of Aviator because this has a bit of violet leaf in. I prefer the smell overall to Aviator. I do think it's a better smell than Aviator. And also it reminded me of that sort of fresher take on Le Male that we get from Eau Fraiche. So, just to sort of make a comparison for you to give you some idea, it's sort of somewhere in between these two. It's a bit of a mix of Aviator and Eau Fraiche. I don't prefer it to Eau Fraiche. I think this one is a better fragrance. In fact, I think these three are better fragrances. In fact, I think the original and Ultra Male and Fleur de Mal and Le Terrible. I'm not even sure if this would get into my top 10. If I'm honest. And the main reason for that is the performance. After 2 or so hours, it wasn't really projecting. It was projecting okay for the first couple of hours, but after that, it wasn't really projecting. So 3 hours down the line, I mean, I can get a bit of sort of woody, ambery, tonka bean smell off my skin, but it's not really projecting, so I don't think it's going to really give you much sillage. So this is the kind of fragrance that you'd probably enjoy wearing on a hot sunny day. You just want to spritz for a couple of hours and you want to smell sweet and fresh and youthful for a couple of hours, but anything more than that, I really don't think this is going to cut it. I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to get noticed in the club. I don't think it's a loud enough fragrance to wear to get noticed and to get the compliments. Overall, it's all right. I enjoyed the opening. The opening is what it's all about, as with a lot of modern fragrances these days. The first hour or two is very nice, very pleasant. I did enjoy it, but after that, it faded. And it is an EDT, and it is a summery fragrance, so maybe it is just designed to wear for 2 to 3 hours on a hot sunny day. And in that situation, like I said, I think it would work pretty well. But if you want a Le Male style fragrance and one that smells a little bit more like Le Male, this has a tiny little hint of it in the background, but not really that much. But Eau Fraiche has more of a link to Le Male. It is a bit fresher and brighter, and it lasts a bit longer. Performance isn't amazing on this, but it is better than Le Male on board, just based off my very first initial impressions. So if you want a Le Male flanker for the warmer weather, I'd just go with Eau Fraiche, or even in the navy. I preferred in the navy to this one as well. So either of these two for the sort of aquatic, fresher, summery fragrances, I think will do a better job than on board. So I did like it. It opened well, but it faded fast on me, unfortunately. And believe me, I sprayed it all over my clothes, t-shirt, trousers, everything. I gave it a good dousing. I really wanted to give it a chance, and even with me drowning myself in it, it still faded. Maybe I became a bit anosmic to it, I'm not sure, but I don't think that's the case. I think I would still be getting wafts if it was going to have any sort of decent performance. So overall, I've got to say, I wasn't that impressed, having spent a little bit of time with it. There are Le Male fragrances, Le Male flankers, that I think do a better job than this. I am going to continue to try this out and wear it on some hot sunny days. And if I feel that my opinion will change, then I will update you in a video. I'll do perhaps a more thorough review based on a few weeks of wearing this fragrance. But we'll see how it goes. But at the moment, it's fine. It's pleasant in the opening for a couple of hours, but other than that, it's not really doing much that impresses me, other than having a nice blue bottle that looks nice on your shelf in the summer. But we need more than that. Try it out, by all means. It may be just right for you. It may really work for you. It may work better off your skin. My advice would be, this is one that maybe you want to wait until it gets cheaper. I wouldn't pay full price for this personally, but that's up to you. But obviously it will hit discounters at some point over the next few months to a year, and then maybe try it out for next summer if you can pick it up cheaper. But yeah, I don't think it's really worth full price. So that's what I think. Please let me know what you think. Maybe I'm a little harsher based on how much I love the original Le Male and how special that fragrance is to me. Maybe I'm a harsher critic when it comes to these Le Male flankers, but having said that, I did enjoy these as well. So there we go. First impressions from me on Le Male on board. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM, keep smelling good, and I'll see you in the next one.